Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Real Influencers Project. I'm your host, Craig Reynolds. With me today, again, is my good friend, gOrk Barette. Craig, what's going on, dude?
Not a lot, Craig. How are you doing?
Not a lot, please. Dude, you've got the Hall of Fame ceremony coming up. You guys have just partially relocated to Tulsa, Oklahoma. You've got an indoor track. You've got this massive Hall of Fame, actual Hall of Fame now. There's been so much going on since the last time that we chatted. I'm stoked to find out what's going on now and how it all came about, because not only do we get influenced individually, but there's influences that help us do things like move to Tulsa and put in this massive thing. There's a lot going on, dude. You can't fool me. So let's get started.
Yeah,
what is it like to be in Tulsa with this great facility now?
Man, it's really cool. So I'm here this week. I'll be here for about 10 days. And been adding a few things to the BMX museum. And, since we opened, it's funny, the last time we talked was right at the beginning of COVID, I think. It was
yes,
sketchy times and who knows what's in the future. But this building was under construction. It already started and we just opened it in February. So, it's a pretty awesome facility. So hope you can come and check it out sometime. We got the Hardesty National BMX Stadium, which is a huge arena. It's bigger than the Reno, the Reno facility, and
I hope so.
We got the Olympic Hill track, it's ready for a World Cup or a World Championships, maybe someday.
Right. I hear you. And, put the plug in there a little bit.
Yeah, hopefully. So then we also have, our headquarters right next to the arena, and, upstairs, we have new offices with all new employees, hires. I think there's only one or two employees that had gone over, moved from Arizona over here to the headquarters. And then we have the museum on the lower level here. So, and that was kind of my baby. So.
And rightfully so. How big is, and let's talk about that. Let's start there and go backwards. How big is the Hall of Fame now? Because before it was in Chula Vista, and I don't want to say it was a hallway, but it was in a much smaller spot. And I know you've got all kinds of stuff and a lot of stuff that's been donated to fill that space up. It looks fantastic from the pictures.
Thanks. Yeah. This is probably 10 times the size of what we had in Chula Vista. Chula Vista was just a spare room that they had. They used to show. It was like a little movie theater, a little movie room, and they had given it to us, at the OTC. But then once the Olympic Training Center in Chula Vista changed ownership, the OTC kind of gave it to San Diego. Then they're like, "Hey, you guys need to take your stuff out of here." So,
oh God.
So, and we'd always, so we moved the jerseys. We put the jerseys on display in the hallway. We knew this was coming. This has been 7 years in the making, since it was voted in by the city of, by Tulsa residents had voted on it, 7 years ago. And as part of this is just a small part of a tax package that they had.
Sure.
And there's all these other improvements, but then it's little tiny, I say tiny,
yeah.
$24 million project was the bringing USA BMX to the city of Tulsa. And
$24 million. How much do you think over the years USA BMX or the ABA has brought to the city dollar wise?
Oh yeah. Well, economic impact of the grands just every single year is in the tens.
Right.
And even last year, I'm sure it was way more last year, so it's and the city of Tulsa realizes that. We work a lot with the Tulsa Sports Commission to be able to, it's a great partnership with USA BMX and, and the whole city of Tulsa. Matter of fact, the mayor was just here on Tuesday visiting and checking things out. And I think the lieutenant governor comes next week. It's just, it's crazy, the political aspect of it, which our president Shane Fernandez kind of handles all that. And he's just, always working with the city.
So have they gotten on a bike and coasted around the track? looking at it from the sidelines is one thing, and then someone coasts around a track and they're like, whoa, that's a different story. I'm like, yeah, well,
Yeah.
do it going fast and see how different it is.
Yeah. Well, it's been neat. Like when I got here, so I got here Monday. So Monday morning, I got here early, and then early, like 7:30 in the morning. And I pull up and there's all these kids on these brand new, loaner bikes, and the summer camp's going on.
Oh, right.
So all these kids are already been dropped off. They've got their helmets and they're just riding out in the front, and, just kind of doing a little warm up, or, dodging cones, and, just getting ready to head out to the track. But, I was just like, wow, man, I thought I was going to be the first here or something, but but summer camps going on. And then like yesterday we had Piedmont Airlines, which is like an affiliate of American Airlines.
Mm-hmm.
But they had their big safety, like their first big meeting that they've had since COVID has been over.
Whoa.
So they got a tour of the facility. We took them around the track, then we took them in the museum, and we gave them the full tour, the full VIP treatment. And then they used we have 2 classrooms set up next to the museum. And, they had their little business meeting and brought in lunch, and, so that
is awesome that you can use that space for other businesses to come in and have these meetings and cater to them and show them what this is all about and open their eyes to something that they may never even would have thought of. That's really cool. I didn't think about that use for some space like that.
Yeah. And then the other night, it's like so much is happening here. It's cool to be here and finally, get to see it really get put to use. And so they had the RISE program, which is a special program. They have like 20 underprivileged kids. They're giving them bikes, they're giving them a helmet, they're fully setting them up with training. They flew Jeff Upshaw here, so he did a big talk with them, and he'll be helping them out, and Alec Bob's here helping them out, so that was
really cool.
Yeah, that was awesome to see. They were presented the kids kind of saw their bikes, but this time they had little sticker packs with each of their individual names on it.
Oh, no way.
It's like, all right, sticker up your helmet and sticker up your bike, and just
that's cool. Where'd you get the bikes from?
Those are Hypers, I believe. So we've done a lot with Hyper and a lot with Mongoose for sourcing bikes, and been trying to work with the brands that work with USA BMX. Sure,
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's fantastic. The ABA, sorry, I can't help it. It's never going away. Are the Grands going to be in the new arena, or is it going to stay in the original spot?
No, the Grands will always be at the Expo Center, just because based on the size, like we don't have the parking, and the Expo Center, at the fairgrounds is, that building's so huge, it's a 1/4 mile long, free span building. So with all the vendors, 2/3 of that building is filled with vendors and teams.
Right. So, can we go back to the wooden hill off of the deck?
Did you go
down to the floor again? Yes.
Did you?
That was awesome, man. That was the year Cody Smart jumped the doubles, or tried to jump the doubles.
Oh yeah. I used to want to do that. I wanted to split the top bleachers in half, and you'd have the starting hill go in between the bleachers, and then jump off the side, and then land on the back. But
that would be fantastic. Yeah, well, but still, you need to put some big walls up, because someone's going to get squirrely and shoot off to the side. So we might want to stick with just the gate.
Yeah.
The gate was awesome. That was really cool.
Were you there the year? Because I always remember hearing stories of JD Finney, like his front wheel. So many riders are going down that wooden hill that his front wheel, the hill like caved in, and his front wheel like goes in, and he just throws them over the bars. And
really? Oh no, I wasn't there for that part. No.
Yeah. So that's when they stopped doing it.
Oh, tell them to just put new plywood down. Dang, that was awesome. That was a really cool feature, though. I liked going there because that was pretty cool. That was neat. I've been there. I think I was there twice. Once for when they had the big doubles, that nobody's jumping, and then Cody tried to jump him the one time, and then the other one was, I think it was just like a backward step jump when it was really just a launch, and you just launch off it and land flat ground and bend your forks, which is pretty neat.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool that you remember that and that you were there. You know, those are that was 80s.
Historical. And the peak turn, the first turn was a peak turn. Remember that one?
Oh yeah, I've seen photos of that.
So good, man. I'm telling you that it was really creative and really neat how they used to put them all together. And then, you know, you'd hit a jump and then pedal for a mile, and then hit another jump in a corner and then pedal for a mile. But that was our sport then, man. That's how it was.
Yeah, we have a wall here across from the elevator, and it's just the Grands wall. So I have like every single Grands track. So you know, it's really cool to look at, you know, like the Piedmont Airlines people, when I was showing them what we have, you know, because we're telling them about the Grands, it's like, well, here's all the tracks, and this is what we do. And, you know, all the national titles are handed out here. And it was cool. They pointed out, you know, I mean, they knew nothing. There's only one guy that knew what a mongoose was. But other than that, you know, these people are brand new to BMX, never, you know, so it was all educational for them. And they were just like, they caught on. It's like, wow, look at the difference, you know, like there's only one jump down that whole straightaway compared to,
you
know, the last 15 years, you know, where it's just jump infested.
Just rhythm sections galore. Nice. Yeah. So let's get on to the Hall of Fame part. We talked about a little bit. It's huge. Where are you finding all of this vintage and historical stuff?
Well, a lot of it we had been, you know, or not a lot, but maybe about half of it we've been holding on to for all these years. You know, we did have some of it in Chula Vista. You know, there's a few items, but then when we moved all those, you know, we gave back a lot of the bikes to some of the collectors, you know. So then we also, you know, when we used to do the museum at the Grands, you know, like in 92 through 96, I think was when we did the BMX museum in Oklahoma City. And then we did one when Ellis retired. We had the little small room.
Yeah.
In Tulsa, you know, for museums. So we always had material, and it was just like shoved to the, you know, put in a closet or whatever when we weren't displaying it at the Grands. So, and then also a lot of it would go back up to Sacramento, and it was stored at my brother's bike shop, which is always like the unofficial home of the ABA museum. So
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah. So last year, after one of the races in Washington, I, you know, flew to Sacramento, rented a U-Haul. I grabbed all the stuff that my brother's been holding on to for all these years. You know, he's had a lot of it on display at the shop, you know, so he had boxed up a lot of the frames and, you know, a lot of the items. And then on my trip down, I went to SoCal, and then I picked up a bunch of bikes. You know, we stopped at Billy Griggs's house. We stopped at, you know, picked up Gamstetter's a little Richie Anderson bike, and, you know,
come on.
Stopped at Dennis Dane's house and picked up his side hack and the Rink Raider, you know, so it was cool. And, you know, stopped at Mark Darcy's, and we got a cruiser from him and a whole bunch of Powerlight gear. And so it was a cool road trip to.
Did you get Powerlight bars with the bend in them, the power bend on the end of the bars?
Yeah, no, I don't think we had those.
I thought those were pretty rad.
Yeah, we need to get some.
Someone's got them somewhere. I know they do for sure. So Tulsa, Oklahoma from Arizona, pretty big jump. You got a big contrast in styles there. How many people decided to move? Who moved? Who doesn't have to move? Like, you still have a location in Arizona, but what was that like? And that had to have been a bit of a shock when they were like, so we're going to open an office in Tulsa.
Yeah. When they first announced it, you know, when it first got voted in and they first started, you know, trying to find the location for it, there was kind of an under impression that, everyone's going to be moving to Tulsa, but, you know, there's a lot of, you know, I don't know, flack.
A little bit of pushback.
Yeah, a lot of, you know, because there's some guys that had, you know, shared custody with their kids, or, you know, other people that just, they love Arizona. It's like, dude, I ain't moving to Tulsa. But, you know, like Billy Allen, our track director, our track builder, he moved his family here, like instantly. There was no question, so he's like, yeah,
Right.
I'll go there, And originally I was under the impression that I probably would go if I had to, but then they made it kind of a choice. And so everyone's like, all right, man, we're staying in sunny
Right.
Arizona. But now that the museum opened and BA really wanted me to be here. So he's, we've negotiated and we worked around it and worked a deal. And so that's the big announcement is I'm going to be packing up the family, selling the house, and we'll be moving here to Tulsa probably by September, sometime in August.
Amazing. Whoa, congratulations. I think
Yeah.
that's pretty awesome. I mean, that's your baby, right? Like you said a minute ago, that the whole historical vibe of BMX almost rests on your shoulders completely. I'm sure there's people that have helped you out with that, but I can't think of a better person that's going to be able to take care of it and manage it and get what's needed and to maintain it. That's awesome, man. That's really, really cool.
Thanks. Yeah. I mean, it's neat that BA was able to create like just an all new position that just, as BMX curator, just to handle all the things with the museum and archive, our sports history. And, I mean, stuff that I've done already or
Right.
that I've been doing for the last 20, 25 years. So,
right. Yeah.
But it's awesome. I won't be traveling to as many nationals. We got our social media guy, Wally, is kind of handling the magazine, or not kind of.
Okay.
He's taken over the magazine and
right.
just ran with it. So he's really stoked. He's pumped, and reminds me of myself when I first knew it was at BMX. He's like 22, 23 years old or something. So
right.
I was 22, 23 when I worked at BMX Action, so you got the power of the youth, and, he's more relatable to the ridership, I think.
Right.
And that's what you need rather than some old 55-year-old guy, so
that's awesome.
I'm a better fit for the museum,
Sure. Right.
And,
what does your day-to-day look like then, as far as that goes? I mean, are you conducting tours, or what does that look like for you?
Yeah. Whenever, we're open, the museum here will be open Monday. Right now it's open Monday through Friday during working hours, I think, or actually it's maybe 11 to 5 every day. So anybody, like the other day, a couple of people that were in town, they just stopped in and, checked out the museum. So until we start getting the school tours, they're going to be having field trips from all the Tulsa school districts.
Right.
Every school around in this in the vicinity is going to schedule field trips, and
nice.
That'll be really interesting. I can't wait to see bus pull up in front of the headquarters and
right
come in and get their fill of BMX for the very first time. So
do you have any kind of videos or anything that you can roll, like if they get through the tour, they can go sit down and have lunch, and then you can present like a movie of sorts of like history of BMX or how it looks, or have some people speak about, how it changed their life or whatever.
Yeah. We're definitely, we have the 2 classrooms, which they do, they were designed for the STEM programs that we do, the after school stuff, but we also, we're wanting to, we will be adding video, whether it's, just playing Joe Kid on a Stingray or taking little clips from this and that.
Yeah.
And then there's also going to eventually be video displays on each of the little bike pods.
Oh, yes.
Like we had the rad display right now, so we'll play little clips from that, or,
nice.
The Yamaha Gold Cup, we got that footage, just little snippets of the BMX history to go along with it, video.
And as often as you guys, you're streaming the races now, I'm assuming you're recording them as well. You could pop those in, and here's what happened last week in Texas.
Yeah. I was just talking to Alec Bob this morning about, it's like, man, it'd be great to have like a big screen TV right here by the entrance. And then on a Friday or a Saturday when the races are going on, we could just show the live, the live feed, for any visitors to the museum will get to check out what's going on right this minute,
That's pretty awesome, man. That is. So how many people are in the offices there on a day-to-day basis?
I'd say maybe we have about 15 employees here.
Wow.
Because it's really the headquarters for the USA BMX Foundation. So we have probably about 5 people. We just hired a new director for the foundation. His name's Ray Hoyt. So he's and he used to work for the Tulsa Sports Commission. He was like a key player in getting the Grands to come to Tulsa.
Oh, nice.
So he goes way back with USA BMX.
So what's the next steps for the arena, the track? Like, you guys have nationals already going on there. How often are you going to, rebuild the track? 1, and 2, where does USA BMX go from here?
We got a lot of big plans. We got in September, there's a vintage national, or a vintage race. We're calling it a vintage national.
Is it all flat pedals? And people have to wear flats, or can they wear clips?
If anybody shows up with clips, I think they'll get beat up. So.
I thought so. Yeah, I kind of figured as much. Yeah, you gotta wear KKT lightning pedals. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, we're actually gonna do a Jag Indy World Championship style. We're gonna run it in the parking lot. It's not gonna be on the big Supercross track. We're gonna build the wooden jumps and run it out in the parking lot.
Dude, we did that in for the tornado race in Illinois that one year. Had to come back next week and raced in the parking lot.
Yeah, you were there, huh?
Yeah, and it still rained. It was horrible, but it was great because it was an experience.
For the longest time, that was the only race that had ever been canceled.
Really.
And I remember Clayton John telling me stories about that race, and the only reason they stopped running it, well, other than just a flood of water going across the track, but they lost the moto sheets. That's when they had the moto sheets on the clipboard.
What? Really?
They got sucked up by the winds.
By the tornado that rolled
winds
rolled right past the track. Yeah, that wasn't enough of a reason to stop the race because he lost the moto sheets.
Yeah, Clayton. If they had moto sheets, they probably still would have raced. But yeah, the wind sucked away the motor sheets off the board, and so they had no motor sheets. And
dude, I got something in the mail, or maybe we got it the next week when we went back or whatever it was, that it said I survived the Midwest National or whatever it was called, and it was like a handkerchief that had things printed out, like the picture of the track, a tornado in the corner, stuff blowing around. It was so absolutely cool. I wish I still had it. I'm sure someone has it, but I wish I still kept it, but I got rid of so much stuff. But it was a neat little thing. Like, here, thanks for coming out, but we can't race.
Yeah. I heard a lot of stories about that one. It was probably a Gene Horney drawing with the tornado. He's the guy that
all cartoonish looking. It was awesome, man. It was so cool. So unbelievably cool. So what do you guys do next? Are you going to keep having nationals there every year, or is it going to rotate around? Like, how does that look for you guys?
Yeah, so we had the Legacy Nationals in May. That was the first big event here, and we pulled that off. It was really good, so we'll be having that here every year. That will be the Legacy Nationals, and then like I said, in September we're going to have the Vintage Show. We're also going to have the Strider, or not the Strider, the Stasic is the electric powered kind of Strider bikes. So Stasic,
I read all about that one on Facebook.
Yeah. So Stasic, we've been running their whole series. We started that last year, and this is going to host this year. The Stasic finals are going to be held here.
Oh, cool.
In Tulsa, and that's I believe that same weekend. They also have a USA BMX Foundation, a big gala going on. Like the Piedmont Airlines people that were here, there's a lot of businesses that we're going to be hosting. They'll hold their annual business meetings or whatever. I'm sure around the holidays they're going to be hosting, Christmas parties or whatever here. It's open for.
Before we get too far away from that, and I know we're running out of time, what does the foundation do, and how do people get involved with that if they would like to?
Yeah, so they can just go to, I believe it's usabmxfoundation.org.
Okay.
Or follow the links from usabmx.com. But yeah, it's full nonprofit, they have a whole lot of programs going on. It's all about outreach to, bringing new riders into the sport. And the biggest part of that is the STEM and STEAM programs, So we do that all across the country. They're working with certain, variety of schools and doing everything from like track modeling classes to teaching kids, how to ride bikes. A lot of those kids, first time they've ever ridden a bike, so they're spending extra time and getting these kids on bikes. So that's what's
how neat. That is awesome, man. What a really cool outreach and a way to number one, help kids, and two, help grow the sport, which is awesome. I know there's been a lot of talk about what are they doing to grow the sport. Well, here's one of them right there. There you go.
Exactly. Yeah. You hear that all the time, and it's something that we probably don't do a good enough job getting the word out about all the projects and all the things, so that's kind of why I was like, hey, let's talk about this, so
this is awesome. I love it. Well, gOrk, we can talk about anything you want to talk about anytime. I told Julie, I was like, I think, when you've made it, when someone calls and goes, hey, can I be on the show? Because I'm the one that makes all the phone calls. Hey, you want to do an interview? So I'm glad that you sent me the message, man. I love this. We can do this anytime you want. Like I said, you were so huge in my career that it is the least that I can do is help as much as I can to promote the sport, help you, promote you, just whatever you want. Anytime you want to come on, dude, I'll make time. Let's do it.
Awesome. Well, now thanks for having me again. And I don't know how many two-timers you've had on your show, but I've been watching.
That's it. You, I think there's a couple. I think you and Todd Hicks just did him a couple of weeks ago. So, this will be pretty quick. Yeah, this is it.
Yeah. No, I enjoy the Real Influencers. It's really cool, man. You've been getting some great guests, and I've been watching it. So,
well, dude, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And if you guys like what you're seeing, please make sure you subscribe right here on YouTube. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, subscribe there as well. Craig, you have a fantastic day. Congratulations on the move. And man, I look forward to talking with you soon. One of these days, I'm going to get out there.
Yeah, dude. Hall of Fame is, Halloween weekend in October. So, the Hall of Fame ceremonies tickets just went on sale.
Nice. $125 each. Don't forget, people, go check it out.
Right on. Thanks, man.
Thank you.